I'm your host, Josie Van Dyke, and I am sitting next to the Madi Murphy WEST, everybody.
Josie just asked me if she could use my new last name. That's the first time. I haven't even done it on my podcast
Not
yet.
affiliated with Kanye at all. But West, have you like legally changed it?
I just got my marriage certificate or whatever it is in the mail like yesterday. So I'm going to get a new license tomorrow.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
Like, it's rolling.
It's rolling. I know it's going to take me like a year to do it because I got to do that. I got to do Social Security. I got to do passport. I got to do banks. I got to do everything.
No, fun fact. I don't know how, and this, maybe I shouldn't share this because someone's going to like steal my identity, but I never changed my Social Security, but I was able to change my driver's license.
That's okay. You do your license first.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
You should probably change
it. It's been 8 years. I'm like,
yeah, you should like, I
have two identities.
Yeah, you might want to like just smooth that out.
Bridge the gap at one point. But we have so much to dumpster deep dive, so much to catch up on, Maddie.
I know. I love going on other podcasts.
I love having you on my podcast.
I feel like people have told me in the past, they're like, well, I don't want to ask you to be on because like you do this every week. Yeah. And I'm like, no, going on somebody else's podcast is a vacation. People, have you learned this?
Oh, it's
people
so nice.
Love coming on podcasts.
Oh, it's like a little vain. It's like, I like to talk about myself. But like you get asked these questions and you get to like actually think and you just get to talk.
Well, totally. And I sometimes don't know what people like, cause I record by myself. So I sometimes don't know like what follow-up questions people have or like what somebody would ask. And so
today's trash is brought to you by Cafe Rio. All right, trashers, let's get real for a second. If you've ever hosted a party or event, you know the food can make or break the vibe, right? Well, for the season 3 launch party, I went with no other than Cafe Rio, one of my all-time faves, and it was chef's kiss perfection. So let me put you on Cafe Rio catering. You've got all your faves, nachos, tacos, salads, and it's all fresh, customizable, and delivered straight to your event. I'm talking that juicy, sweet port, tangy guac, house-made tortillas, the dressing, eat it up. The works, okay? And because you're part of the Weekly Trash fam, a true trasher, Cafe Rio is hooking you up. Use code WEEKLYTRASH10 for 10% off your catering order. That's right, a discount on food that smacks, yes please. Whether it's a big family event, a girls' night in, or a cute little get-together, Cafe Rio's got everything fresh, customizable, and delivered. Just head to caferio.com/catering and use code WEEKLYTRASH10 and you're good to go. So go get that code and trust me, your guests will be hitting you up for all the details on your Cafe Rio catering. Order today at caferio.com/catering. Use code WEEKLYTRASH10.
it just, man, it flies by.
Especially for you being only solos majority of the time. I don't know how you do that and not go insane. Because
it's crazy.
I do a solo every week, but I feel like because I also get to do this, it lets my brain have a break a little bit.
Totally.
Because this is way easier. A solo is debilitating.
A solo is hard. I do kind of feel like, not to be like whatever, but I do feel like the audience is my co-host because I do a lot of listener submitted stuff.
That's true.
So I feel like I have like, I have a lot of like,
you incorporate them.
I incorporate them. So a lot of the stuff that I'm saying is not my own stuff. It's other people's stories,
True.
which helps a lot. But like, oh man, like I'm recording with Lucy tomorrow and I'm just like, I'm so excited because I know it's going to be so easy and doing this is so easy. And
it's
anyway,
so
I love
Lucy, shout out to Lucy. I just recently started following her. And
Isn't she the best?
Coolest.
She's the coolest. She's the hottest.
She's edgy. Like I want to have her like, I don't give an F energy. Like, can she like rub it on me
I know.
a
And you know
little?
what's so funny is that everybody who meets Lucy, they're like, oh, I was so intimidated. She is the warmest, nicest, but like is total black cat vibes.
Oh yeah.
But like the minute you meet her, you're like, she will take care of me for the rest of my life.
No,
like
I love
she's everything.
So she'll be on your podcast soon. Everybody look out for that.
Yes. We're going to do a horror movie recap. Yeah.
Oh, love.
I know.
And if you guys, there's no way that any of you listening don't know about Bad Broadcast because Bad Broadcast walked so I could jog a little and try to keep up and like try to keep at Madi Murphy's pace.
Not even.
But like I feel like you brought podcasting to Utah. I feel like you're the OG.
Get out.
No, truly, Maddie, you're the queen. I idolize you. I envy you. I'm jealous of you. Sometimes like I just look at you and I'm like, I want to be her.
No.
I want to be Madi Murphy
No, because
West.
it's so funny because I walk in here and I'm like, oh, this is like a real pod. You know, I like sit on my floor. Like I have this little, I have the half one of this. I have like a broken microphone. Like I'm really like kind of a janky operation.
Hey, but that just shows you like you just need talent.
No. That's really, I'm really flattered and I won't.
You should be flattered. Accept it. Say, I'm great. I know. You know.
No. I am grateful. I'm grateful. No, I feel like especially in like the last like 8 months, I really love what I do. Really love it. Like since having Coco, since kind of like entering a new phase of life, I'm like, oh, I do like this. It's not this that's the problem. It was like my life that was the problem.
Yeah, you're happy now.
Yeah. And so when you're happy, you're like, this is the best thing ever. So anyway.
So let's talk about how you got happy. Because last time you were here, you were in the thick of the divorce stuff.
Yes.
Things were messy.
So this was, when did we record?
It was in the winter because we were just saying.
It had to have been like February.
Yes.
Because I was talking to Gray.
Yes, because you had said I kind of have a guy.
Yes, I was
like you weren't really talking about it a ton.
Yes, and I was really in the that was bad. That was bad
because there was a lot of drama with your ex online.
Yeah,
and you were just trying to close all the negativity and just focus on your life so you could get through it.
Yeah, and I went like major. I like really went into a shell. Like I really
protect yourself.
Yes, and it was like I was okay, but I was scared of sharing anything. I was just very much like, oh, my life just like exploded on like this, this platform that I have, and like people like. Anyway, it was crazy. So I really went inward and, I met Gray, I got pregnant and like, I kind of stayed in my shell for my pregnancy, which I think was like, it was really good. It was great for my relationship, whatever. And then now somebody asked me, I was on somebody's podcast a few months ago and they were like, what like era are you in right now? My pants are unbuttoned. So I just want to cover
the era
that.
we're in.
Yeah, that's the era we're in. But, and I was like, I feel like I'm kind of in my bloom era. Like I went really inward. I kind of dissected my life for the last few years. And now I'm like at this point where I'm really happy. I really am happy.
And I also think that's a 30s thing too. Because people say once you turn 30, you realize like you don't give an F about anything other than like the things that matter. And you just bloom. Blossom.
Totally. And I had my daughter and I had this relationship that felt right and everything kind of, but yeah, how I got there. Well, let's see. Yeah,
because you started, how soon did you start dating? Like looking around, ready to like get out there and be serious about it, not just like casual.
Yeah, it was, let's see, I filed for divorce in July and I got on the apps in December. Okay. So 6 months?
Yeah.
Which maybe was fast.
No, I think, because did you already feel like your marriage was kind of like dying before you even
now that I'm in this relationship and I'm remarried and I have this dynamic, I look back on my marriage and I'm like, what was that? What was that? That was roommates. That was platonic partnership. That was like, and for better or for worse, like I look at my first marriage and I'm like, no, I learned a lot. I started the bad broadcast. There were so many things that I'm like,
for sure,
that was good for a lot of things, but as far as like partnership and intimacy and all, like that wasn't there. And I had no idea. Yeah. I got married when I was 5. It was like my
not literally, but
I was like
basically
22. Like I really had no idea. I thought I was so old. Like I was the last one of my friends to get married. I'm like, I can't believe I'm like the oldest person in my friend group to get married. And, anyway, and you don't know what you don't know, but
you don't know how bad it is until you get out and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And you see something good and healthy.
Yes.
And it's like, damn.
And like I saw Gray and I met Gray and we started dating and I was like, oh, I like need to like be around you and like touch you and hug you and laugh with you. Like it was like this playful, like fun, romantic. I don't know. I never had that. And I've had people say that to me now because they'll be like, yeah, you guys always just seemed like friends. You guys always, which was true. And that wasn't why we got divorced. Like it wasn't like, oh, we just, whatever. But yeah, I don't even know. It's like, I talk about this and it's like, there's so many thoughts rolling around in my head about it that I'm like, I don't even know what questions to answer. I don't even know what people are curious about. I don't even know where to begin. There's like the lore goes so deep that I'm like, the end of it was really hard and really scary. And
when you met Gray, obviously you said it was like instant connection. Did he feel that same way? Like, was it very like Oh, we are soulmates?
Yeah, we were obsessed.
Okay.
Like we were, I mean, but it didn't feel like clingy or like, it just felt very much like, oh, this is our next step.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Like this is, yeah.
Because when we went to dinner, you guys only had been dating for a little bit and you were like, oh, I want to have his babies.
Oh yeah.
I had like I literally want to get knocked up. And I was like, go do it.
I know.
See you later.
I know.
Have fun.
Sorry to interrupt, but I need to let you know about one of my favorite sponsors, Spearmint Love. Spearmint Love isn't just another baby boutique, it's a trusted name in the baby space. Known for its own Spearmint Love brand and huge selection of high-quality baby essentials and holiday collections, aka Halloween's coming up. But they also have fast shipping from their Arizona headquarters. Spearmint Love delivers the best for your little ones. And like I said before, Halloween is coming up and the Spearmint Love Halloween shop is to die for. From their aesthetic and high quality organic cotton waffle line to fun designs in super soft viscose made from bamboo line of zip rompers, hoodies, tutus, and two-piece sets, there's a print and style for every little one. Matching prints and coordinating colors for siblings from size newborn to 6 years old. Whether you're dressing a little brother or a big sister, the Halloween collection truly has a style that will keep everybody looking festive. As you know, love a theme. So having to get outfits for all 3 kids from one store is like heaven sent. There's so many cute and unique options for the baby's first Halloween. So obviously go ham, but it's just nice to have options for not just babies. So I can get something for Bentley, Brooks, and Banks. Slay. Go to their website, ordering coming home outfits from the hospital or a birth announcement photo outfit. Everything is so cute and so soft. The prints are unique, like I said, and photogenic, and the aesthetic is amazing. So head on over to experimentlove.com and use code WEEKLYTRASH at checkout for 25% off your order. That's experimentlove.com, code WEEKLYTRASH for, yes, 25% off. Have fun and go get yourself some Halloween goodies for those kiddos. And thanks, Spearmint Love, for sponsoring today's episode.
I really felt a biological push to have a baby with him.
Yeah.
Like I did not, like people ask me all the time, they're like, how did you know you're ready? I'm like, I can only speak for myself that I had that moment where I said, oh, I am ready to have a baby. You are the person I want to have a baby with. This is our next step in life. Like that all felt very clear to me. I'm not I'm not religious anymore. I don't really like attribute things to like spiritual whatever, but I had a very spiritual, overwhelming experience of like, this is your life. This is what's ahead of you.
Really?
Like, this is what's next. Like you have like, I don't know. It was like I don't know. My life like had started finally.
Did
very weird.
everyone agree with that mindset? Or were they like, you're going too fast?
No, are you kidding? No. So when we told, well, I feel like I don't want to glaze over anything with the end of my marriage that people are curious about.
Yeah.
I'm totally willing to talk about it. And I feel like it's something that I've been private about. I mean, for a lot of reasons I've been private about it, but also like, yeah, I mean, I'll just say this about the end of my marriage. I really had high hopes for me and my ex-husband that we would stay friends.
Be friends, yeah.
And because I really, for the last year or so of my marriage, I was caretaking in a lot of ways. I mean, in every way. I mean, I was running our house. I was earning the money. I was making the appointments. I was doing everything. He needed me to be that person. He was not in a place that he could do that.
Yeah.
And when it's your husband, you just step up and you do it.
Yeah.
Like you just do it. I was more than happy to do it. So anyway, we had a big event, a big thing happen. The moment happened this was mid-July, where things got really out of hand. And I've shared about this in my divorce episode where, I started seeing a lot of like really erratic behavior, a lot of things that I had recognized in the past, but it really escalated to a point that I had never seen before. My cats were, have I told you this or did you hear this? So I lost my cats, and I had never shared that they were like purposely let out on the freeway. They were my stuff was thrown in a pile and he took an axe to it. And like, it was a really big, scary thing.
Yeah.
And so that was something that I was dealing with. I had moved out. I'd filed for divorce. It was this big, chaotic, like, I can't believe I'm talking about this. I'm really just, I'm just diving in.
Because you got like police involved.
Yeah. So that happened in July and he ended up getting some help that he needed. And then I was really hopeful that we would maintain a friendship because I was really the only person that he had. And we were set that we were going to remain divorced, but I was really hopeful. And both of us we were both like, hey, we can do this. I can help you. You know, what do you need? Let's support each other through this. I was really adamant about that. And then, January rolled around and like I had seen him on Christmas. I had gone up there and brought him dinner and, you know, and anyway, we had kept in really close touch after it.
Could you see him getting help? Like, could you tell something was working or did it still? No. Okay.
No. And I was doing my best to, you know, give resources and where I could and help and, you know, all of that. And I had this kind of like relentless empathy for him that like, even though I had been so wronged and so hurt and put in scary situations, like that was my husband. Like I wasn't going to abandon him. Like, like it was somebody that I loved for my whole 20s. Like I wasn't just going to be like, you know, there's a feminine urge to like empathize with the man who wrongs you. And so I was helping him. He had, dude, I'm like, am I going to talk about this?
Yeah, you are.
You're on Weekly Trash. You're going to talk about it.
I know. So anyway, so end of January, I started to kind of date and I had started to see gray and I was still in some contact with my ex.
Did your ex know that you were in a
looking
relationship?
Back, I think he caught on that I had started dating. And I think that was what triggered what happened next. That probably, I don't know how many people know about it, but I have gotten a few questions about it like anonymously and I haven't anyway. So, we were in touch and he had, you know, it's so weird because I have these texts of him texting me. He had asked me for money the night before. Like I had sent it. I had told Gray like, hey, I'm still kind of friends with my ex, just so you know, it's weird, but you know, he needs me and whatever. Yeah. And then I woke up, I was in LA with Dear Media and I woke up and I had a bunch of DMs like, hey, your ex is on Reddit doing something. And I was like, what are you talking about? He had called me like 2 weeks prior and said, hey, they're asking about us on Reddit. I'm going to get on and defend us and say that we're friends and say that and I'm like, please don't please don't like the Reddit threads. They're mostly harmless, but they're not great. They don't make you feel good. And when they get serious, they get serious.
Oh, because it's anonymous. People can say whatever they want.
Yeah. And so anyway, so he had gotten on the Reddit and I don't know what happened. I don't know why that happened. I mean, he got on there. He said, I haven't spoken to Maddie in a year. We've been divorced for 2 years. All this stuff about my family, my relationships with my friends, Josie, I cannot emphasize how shocked I was. And the thing is that I had seen behavior like this, like these outbursts, these whatever. And I did not know what to do because I was like, so I literally, it's so weird. Like our texts are him saying, hey, can you send me money for this? And I say, yeah, sent. And then my next text is, why are you on the Reddit? Like hours later, I'm like, what's going on? But because I knew him so well, I knew what was going on. I didn't feel like I could get on and talk about what was happening I felt like I would have to deliver the lowest blows of all time to say, hey, don't believe this because XX or XYZ, you know, all of this stuff. That felt like his to share. Looking back, I should have defended myself. I could have gotten, I wanted to get on. Eventually I reached out to the mods and I was like, hey, this is happening kind of behind the scenes. It's not super safe for either of us and I think people kind of started to catch on what was going on Reddit. Because
it was going on when you first came on. And I was like, hey, do you want to address this?
And I was like, no. And I was like,
touching it.
No. And I was like, he's dealing with something.
Yeah, very respectful and bigger of you.
Well, and even still, I still have a lot of sadness for the things that he dealt with and the things that he went through. And that's really, anyway. So, he texted me back a long text, I'm sick of pretending like I know you. I'm sick of pretending like we're friends, just really off. And I don't know if that's because he heard I was dating. I don't know if that's whatever. And I said, okay, we never have to speak ever again. And that was the last time we ever spoke.
Ever. He's never tried to reach out, apologize.
No, I got some legal stuff involved and he can communicate.
Like a protection order?
Yeah. And he can communicate with my attorney if he, we had some things to figure out after the divorce, some financial things, some stuff that he owed me. And so he, I've been in contact with my attorney obviously, and she was doing that, but yeah.
And that was almost 2 years ago.
Almost 2 years ago. And then like the next week is when I kind of started getting serious about hanging out with Gray. And it was like, yeah, I can't believe I shared all that.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know anybody who, I mean, people have, you know, traumatic stories with Reddit and things that happen or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody who had that. I mean, he had started a separate subreddit called Bad Broad Divorce. He was going hard. I mean, he was going hard. I mean, he was saying and it was the person who knew me the most intimately.
The most vulnerable things about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which he's making up too.
Yes.
Like, it's not like it's true.
And that's what's hard is that I couldn't get on and just say, hey, these are complete lies. Like it's not like, oh, these are kind of true. It's like, no, when he says we haven't spoken in a year, what are you talking about? What are you talking? Like that's,
no,
I don't understand. I was with Lucy actually in LA and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I have just done anyway. So I could ramble about it forever, but that's kind of the crux of that. And
like mentally, I would have had a mental breakdown. Like that had to have been so draining to also have to show up on your podcast.
Yeah.
Talk, act, like everything's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
Where the minute you turn the mic off, it's like,
well, and dude,
me.
I had just announced my divorce, like beginning of December. I had waited a few months because we were kind of dealing with all of it. So I just announced and I had said, hey, guys, we're really good friends. We had a trip planned for the end of January. We kind of had this, like, we were going to go back to Oregon. We were going to do this kind of like goodbye to our, like, it was very like weird and like,
but respectable
and like conscious uncoupling bullshit, whatever. And I was like, hey, and then he gets on the Reddit and says, we've never talked about a trip. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? And it's like, I was painted into this corner where I just decided to not say anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was really excited about Gray and moving forward. And just to touch on the mental health stuff, that was hard. It was nothing compared to how bad it was in my marriage, how sad I was, how depressed I was, getting divorced is hard. Staying in a bad marriage is way harder. And I always tell people that when they ask me like about getting divorced, I'm like, I know this is shitty. I know getting divorced is the worst thing in the world. I promise you it's it's better than staying in a bad marriage. There's no question. And now that I'm in this marriage and now that I've moved forward, I look back and I'm like, wow, I was right.
I'm proud of myself.
Wow, I was so right about that. No,
yeah.
But so I've never, I mean, I've shared the cats thing and the axe thing and stuff, but I've never really touched directly on the Reddit stuff. And that was like, it was really traumatic. Like it was really scary. I then got really nervous about what would be shared there. And if he would find like, cause people are always like, oh, she lives in my building or, whatever. And I'm like
crazy people.
Yeah. And so I had talked to the mods about it. Like, hey, if like that pops up, like, I don't care. If you hate the podcast, you hate me. I'm ugly. I'm stupid. I'm fat, whatever. Yeah. Snark all you want. But when it started to get into like where I was living, that was when I was like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that because I don't feel like I'm in a super safe situation, especially after I got pregnant. I got really nervous about what behavior would follow.
Yeah. The safety.
Yeah. And so, and now it's been years and it's died down. And
do you know where he is?
No idea.
Like, his family, nobody's been in contact with you.
Which is fine. Yeah. It's totally fine. Like I feel really fine about it. I think that it's good. I think that it was I think I needed to be completely done, separated, no contact, nothing, because we were so codependent and so enmeshed, and I was helping him with things and I was trying to make a friendship work and it wasn't working, and cutting those ties and saying, hey, we can't ever speak ever again. Yeah. It like freed me. I mean, it freed me from everything. And I was like finally able to like start my life.
Blossom.
Yeah. Like I feel like that day, like when like I cut those ties and that was no longer in my life, I felt like I was able to, like I felt reborn.
Yeah, you could probably breathe.
Yeah, like I felt like I took the first deep breath I had in 3 years. Like I was like, oh, and I had Gray and I was so excited about him, and I was just like, oh, I have this, and I was like, it's funny because like I was talking to Gray about it, and I was like, yeah, my ex is like doing this, and Gray was like, that's weird. All right, well, anyway, like I was like, don't read it. I was so paranoid. I was like, don't go read it in this, and he was like, oh yeah, it sucks. And, he was really supportive and like helped me through it, but he wasn't fazed by that part of my life. I was like, I don't know if this is going to happen.
He wasn't intimidated.
No. And not intimidated and not like,
threatened.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say. He just was very steady. He was just like very like,
Level-headed.
Yeah, very level-headed. This is, this is hard. We'll get through it. I'm not judging you for it. I don't judge you for anything, because I was like, I like had talked to my ex like a week ago and whatever. And he was like, no, it's fine. Like, we're all trying to figure out life now. And anyway, crazy.
Well, you got a good one, it sounds like.
Yeah.
How'd you meet him?
Yeah. Hinge.
We love dating
He's so
apps.
great. He's
We
so
love it.
great. He's so, I just feel like I was on high alert for red flags, like from the very beginning.
yeah.
Like I knew everything to look for. And I think that's what's hard is that people are like, oh, you moved so fast. And like, how could you have known? And I'm like, no, I knew what to look for. I had analyzed my life for so long, what went wrong, what signs were where I could have been better, where, all of these things. So I just knew I was very clear on what I wanted and what I wouldn't deal with. And so that's why I feel like with Gray, it just made sense to move fast.
Yeah.
And we did move fast. And people like, yeah, I saw like one of the questions when people will ask like, well, you got pregnant so fast. Was it an accident? It's like, it's hard to say what the difference is between like, hey, we're not protecting and we're having sex and we're trying for a baby. Like, are they different?
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's like we had the conversation.
Like, what happens when you have unprotected
Yeah, like I'm
sex.
aware of science.
Yeah.
Like I'm aware that like, hey,
an egg and a sperm creates cocoa.
Yeah. And it's like, and we had the conversation like, hey, if we get pregnant, like that's a life commitment. We will get married. Like, is that what we want to move? Should we have a baby first? Should we get married first? Like where, and we had made this decision. So it's like, yeah, were we sitting there like, like what day should we get pregnant? But it's like,
you weren't tracking ovulation.
But it's like, were we ready for our next step? Yeah. So people like will ask that all the time. You said it was a surprise and now you're not. It's like, I don't know how to describe the conversation that we had, but I wasn't like, oh no, I'm pregnant. What am I gonna do?
Right.
But it was like, oh wow, I was way more fertile than I thought I was. Cool.
Yeah.
Now this is happening sooner, whatever. So I don't really have like I don't know the difference between those things, but that was the conversation that we had. And yeah, it was really, really fast.
Well, because the video of you telling him you're pregnant is the most precious thing ever.
Yeah.
It is. I loved it so much.
No, he loved it.
Did your family have that same reaction?
No, but they were great. They were great. Was it like, I didn't have the classic like onesie and like, and everyone's, if my daughter did what I did, boy, would I be concerned.
What's happening?
But I had just learned over the years prior how to be really in tune with my gut.
Yeah.
And all of the times I literally had this list in my head of all the times I ignored my gut. And I just thought, after my divorce, I was like, I think I'm done ignoring that like major compass that I have.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to like really listen to that, even though it means not listening to the people around me, but anyway, when we told my parents, the first thing they did, stood up, hugged us. We're all crying. Because at the end of the day, it's like, that's our baby. That's
how
our
long
baby.
had you guys been open that you guys were in a relationship? Like, did you tell your parents right away, like, I'm in a relationship?
Wait, let me think. How long did I tell? It was like a month.
Okay.
Like a month.
So they knew about
They knew about Gray. They knew
Gray.
about him. They had known him. He had been around
Yeah.
as my boyfriend. Like,
Okay.
But yeah, it was quick. And like, so when obviously my mom, yeah, again, if my daughter had just been through a really traumatic divorce and then dove in and came to me less than a year after her divorce and said she was pregnant, I would lose my damn mind. Yeah. And my mom kept it very cool. And my mom was just, I know. And my family was awesome. Gray's family was awesome. They were just like, the other thing is that like, we're 30, like I'm financially independent. I'm, and I really just had to tell my mom, like, just trust me, like, just trust me. I know how idiotic that sounds after what I just went through.
Yeah.
But just trust me. I'm happy. And like, my mom just keeps saying, I used to worry. And then I see how you guys love each other and I don't worry, and like now we're almost, we're a year and a half in. It's like things are, again, this is all kind of water under the bridge, but yeah, I think they did great. I really think my parents did great with handling that news because it would have been insane. It's also like my parents are active LDS.
Yeah.
Like it's just, my mom was
not the norm.
It's not the norm. It's not, but Gray and I are obsessed with it. Gray and I are obsessed with our story. Like we're obsessed with how we felt and the progression to, getting pregnant. Like we love,
you knew.
we knew and we love it. And we love it. Like we're kind of like love struck teenagers.
No, I love that for you. And I'm obsessed with it.
Like, and I really, I love him. I love him so much.
No, you love him so much. You just decided to go to Vegas and get married and break the internet with an elopement.
Yeah, we eloped. eloped.
Did you always know you wanted it to be an elopement?
Yeah, we knew pretty early on that it was going to be something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to be small. I didn't know if it, like, we had toyed around with a lot of ideas, like maybe we just have our parents there. Maybe we just have Coco there. Maybe we do it on a Thursday at the courthouse. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then when we landed on Vegas, we had gone to Vegas early on in our relationship, just like he was at a work thing. And I was like, what if we spent the weekend in Vegas together? And like, it felt insane. But we had hung out there. And so we were like, let's go back. Let's do like the whole, like I wanted it just a little bit trashy, just a little,
Yeah, it's
just a
iconic.
tit. Yeah. And so when we landed on that, he was like, oh, I'm so in. He loved it. And so, yeah, we went, let's see, how long have we been married now? What's the date?
5 weeks, 4 weeks.
October 9th. Yeah. We got married the 23rd. Yeah. Like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
You guys are newlyweds.
We are newlyweds.
Has it felt different at all being from, in a relationship to now married?
Yeah, we're no longer living in sin, living together and unmarried. We have the mantle of that lifted.
I love that for you.
No, we actually, he did say the other day that he feels different being a husband now. And I feel different too. Like, I feel like it's just kind of like a new, I don't know, a new step. Like, I really value marriage, and people would ask me that after getting married or after being divorced. They're like, will you ever get remarried again? I was like, hell yeah. I love marriage. Yeah. I really value the commitment, monogamy, the family unit. I love being a wife and a mother. Like, I really, really love it. And so I knew that I would get remarried. Like, I was never scared of that. The marriage, getting remarried wasn't ever scary to me. Like, I had, it just, people get divorced. They get remarried after. And it's not, it wasn't the first time that people had gotten divorced and found somebody better for them after. And I always tell people there's like something about like the second marriage. There's like second marriage magic, where you kind of are very clear about what you want out of the relationship, your boundaries, your expectations, your dynamics, your intimacy expectations, all of that like when you find that second marriage, it's like a breeze, dude. Like, it's transitioning into a serious relationship and getting married this time around has been bliss.
Because were there any huge differences between Gray and your ex? Like, are they polar opposites?
Polar.
Okay.
Polar. Yeah.
So you really were like, everything that happened the first time, we don't want any of that.
Yeah. It's hard to even think of ways they're similar.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, just really, yeah. It's Gray is incredibly, I don't mean this to be shady, but Gray is a little shady. But Gray is incredibly secure.
Yeah.
Really, like, is completely unfazed when anything is said about him. Is that like, even like he'll have things like, oh yeah, so-and-so thought I said something at work that I didn't say. And, I had to clarify that. And I'm like, doesn't that drive you crazy? Don't you I have such a deep sense of justice.
I hate being misunderstood.
Oh, when people misunderstand
and
what I say.
And we have podcasts.
Yeah. When people misunderstand or lie about me or, say, like, I mean, it is something that I cannot deal with.
Oh,
and Gray has such a strong sense of self that he's just like, yeah, if they want to think that, they can think that. I know that's not true, so I'm not worried about it. I'm like, what do you mean? But that has been the best thing. I mean, it's the best thing for having something like this. And that's something that I did not have. I was married to somebody who very much valued like popularity and really wanted that. And really, we had a moment in our marriage where he had said to me, just so you know, he was not sober at the time, just, if that is any context, but he said,
mental state.
Yeah, I mean, just and stuff. He was whatever, but he had said, "I'm never gonna forgive you for bad broadcast." And I was like, "What
does that mean?"
And I was like, "What do you mean?" This was probably like I had just signed with Dear Media, like it was just kind of getting going. And he said, "I'm never gonna forgive you for bad broadcast." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And he said, "I have tried my whole life to have a following and get popular and, music and try to have an audience. And I never got it. And you started this and you got an audience right away. And I just don't think I'm ever going to forgive you for that." And like, it was something that clicked in that moment where I was like, we're never going to be able to make this work. Wow. We're never, because he's never going to. And I could see that with all the Reddit stuff when that started like to come to light. And he was saying anyway,
he saw a way to get the attention and the validation. He saw a spotlight and he was like, I kind of want that.
Well, when he started the separate subreddit and I was like, you're going to moderate a subreddit about me? Like, that's what you're going to do? Like, you're going to start like, what? And then I flashed back to that. And the next morning we woke up and we never talked about that conversation ever again. When he said he wasn't going to forgive me for it.
Did he remember saying that?
Mm-mm. I don't think so, because he never brought it up again. And it was like his subconscious had said it to me. Like he had resented me from the minute. And it's so stupid because it's like, I'm not sitting here saying, hey, I'm Alex Cooper and my husband was threatened by my success. But it's like, I had this modicum of an audience. Like I was just starting out. And even that was
intimidating.
It was just not, it wasn't something that he was ever going to get over. Wow. And it wasn't. And I saw that at the end of our divorce when he started to like kind of like latch on to people. Like, I'm like, first of all, you're going to this subreddit of people who, I mean, not that it's of people who don't like me, but it's a snark page. You know, people are there to snark and whatever, you know, they have the freedom to do so, but you're going to this, it's like to siphon off. I don't know. It just felt very weird. It felt very weird. And I'm like, I'm now unloading this because I've never talked about it. And I'm like, whatever. But yeah, so that was, I think that, so flashback to.
So Gray would never be doing that.
Well, yeah. And like, you know, fast forward to my life now. I can't even conceptualize Gray even touching that sentence with a 10-foot pole, even thinking anything. And I hate to be like, intimidated by me and threatened by my success, but just like not even the least bit, you know,
if anything, he's
affected,
supportive, and like, yeah, you go.
Oh, he loves it. He met me in the middle. He knew that this was what it was. Yeah. He loves it. He loves telling people about it. He loves, you know, like
he's so proud.
He's so proud. He loves to brag about it. He loves to talk, you know, and like, actually, you and I talked about something.
Yeah.
About the money thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody had asked Gray, they'd come up to Gray and they had said, hey, I heard Maddie doesn't make any money with her podcast. And Gray was like, what are you talking about? It's like, it's her career. Like what? Yeah. Like she just supported herself, like, and her, you know, whatever. Like she makes money doing it. Like, what are you talking? And they're like, Weekly Trash said she doesn't make any money.
And I was like, I'm sorry.
And I was like, so somebody told me that. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I texted you and I was like,
so glad you did. Yeah. Because when people do this, the whole
no. And I was like, I'm just going to text Josie. And so I texted you and I was like, hey, did you talk about me on an episode recently? And you were like, yeah, it was my episode with Lex. We talked about just how hard it is to make money podcasting. Yeah. So I listened to the episode and you were like, oh yeah, Maddie took me to dinner and we talked about like making money. I don't know how they got from there to there.
No, I literally said in the episode, I was like, I didn't know how to make money from podcasting until talking to Maddie, and she like made this a career. Like I literally said the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So I was so taken back and I was like, I'm sorry. I would literally never, ever do that.
But like Gray is the one who will be like the first person to defend me, the first person to say that, you know, whatever. And it just feels really nice. So
it's nice to have a man that's supportive, proud of you.
He's very like, I don't know, just the most secure, you know, not even unbothered, just very grounded. He's a Taurus.
And he seems like a really good dad too.
Amazing dad. I mean, he doesn't love anything more than being a dad. He actually like hates jokes when people are like kids ruin everything jokes. Yeah. He hates it because he's like, no, they literally make everything better. I'm like,
everything.
Yeah, almost everything. But like
he like a little hard.
But like in his heart, like kids make everything better. Like travel, they make traveling better. They make nights better. Like even the shit that is actually objectively worse with kids. He doesn't see that. He sees it as everything is better when Coco's around.
I think Gray and Caleb would be really good friends because Caleb's birthday's coming up. And I was like, what do you want to do for your birthday? He's like, oh, we should just do family night. And I was like, I'm sorry. If it was my birthday, I want a day alone.
Literally.
Like, we're not going to family dinner.
I'm like, can you stay the whole day on my birthday? Like, no, I want to be alone. I want to dissociate. Like I
don't want to have a family dinner at Texas Roadhouse with 3 screaming children.
No, Gray's dream.
And Caleb's like, that sounds great. Like,
yeah, no, Gray's dream.
Be me.
Yeah, and 18 holes. Like that's all. He's trying to figure out.
Okay, wait, they need to be best friends.
He's trying to figure out how to like get Coco on the course. I'm like, he's like, we'll get her in a helmet. We'll put her in a little cage.
No, I think we need to do a double date. They can go golfing. No, we can like hang out at the pool.
It's so nice, and he's just the most. I mean, I've been very careful to like I don't overly share about my relationship mainly because I just am kind of like. I don't super feel the need to anymore because I'm like, I felt like before things felt very performative. Things felt very, you know, I needed everybody to think we were
perfect.
Perfect. And I very much fell into that trap, you know, the long captions of like, what a long road it's been, you know, but we're better than ever. Like I'm formerly part of like the better than ever community, which like every time I read that, I'm like,
longer the caption, the worse the marriage.
Yeah. And like when people say, oh, you know, things were really hard and we're better than ever, I'm like, I have a good attorney. Okay. Just like keep her on down, like speed dial if you need it. Like I feel like I can spot divorce language from a mile away. And so I haven't felt the need to do that because I just have really assessed why I do that. And that's why I don't have Gray on the podcast. I don't, because I'm like, I just, this little like corner of my life.
Protect it.
I want to protect it, but also it's not active. I'm not actively thinking about it all the time. And I tell people this all the time, that healthy relationships aren't actually highs and lows.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty boring.
Yeah.
It's pretty like, you know, days just kind of fly by and they're easy. And, you know, it's like they're reliably good. You know, you wake up and you have a good day, and then you go to bed and you have a good night, and then you wake up and do it again. It's not
a roller coaster.
It's not a roller coaster. And it doesn't prove your passion, and it doesn't prove how much you love each other because you fight so hard and you make up so hard.
Hot makeup sex.
Yeah, no, that's not.
I've actually never had that.
Yeah,
I've never had hot makeup sex ever.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've done.
I've never had that.
I mean, I've done like a post-argument hug and kiss.
Yeah,
and,
like, I forgive you, but like.
Yeah, but never like, we're
throwing against the wall.
No, like Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I've never had that.
No. So, anyway, I've really just taken out the trash, as they say.
I do want to talk to you about motherhood though, because you've always wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
You, like we said, we went to dinner, you were like, I want to be a mom. I want to have babies.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this.
Yep.
When you got pregnant, was pregnancy what you expected it to be?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I really loved being pregnant.
I want to punch you in the face.
I know. And I'm sorry. And everything about my personality should say that I hated being
pregnant.
pregnant.
You should be complaining.
Yeah. I really loved it. I really loved it. And every cell in my body relaxed for the first time ever when I found out I was pregnant.
Do you think it also could have been just because you were in a healthy relationship finally?
Oh, absolutely.
And because like, I mean, do you want more kids?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
probably
not saying that I want your next pregnancy to suck, but
no,
like,
and honestly, it probably will. I'll get a
I want you throwing up every single day.
I'm fully
depressed, miserable, gaining 12 pounds a week.
I will say that postpartum really got me. Postpartum. Oh yeah. Yeah. I really got my due, with postpartum. Yeah. Postpartum kicked my ass.
Okay.
Like,
what about the labor itself?
Labor was fine. I had prepped for an unmedicated birth. I had done.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I had done hypnobirthing. I got really into like birth. Like I still like love birth. Like I want to be a doula.
Yeah, our bodies can do this.
Oh, it's so sexy and feminine and amazing. And I worship women.
Yeah.
And so I had gone into things hoping for an unmedicated birth.
You'd be an amazing doula.
It's fully my plan.
Yeah.
Fully my plan.
Yeah.
But I got high blood pressure. So I had to be induced.
Okay.
So I labored.
But you did vaginal.
I did vaginal, and I labored on Pitocin. No epidural for like 8 hours.
With Pitocin?
With Pitocin, which was really hard. I got my epidural, and then before my epidural kicked in, I started pushing. But I think the epidural did help with the anxiety of it, because the Pitocin contractions are seriously no joke.
Today's episode is brought to you by Care Cleaning. Are you tired of spending your weekends scrubbing and dusting instead of enjoying your free time? Well, I have the perfect solution for you. Introducing Care Cleaning, your go-to professional cleaning company, proudly serving Utah County and Salt Lake City for 5 years. With over 50 dedicated employees, they send specialized teams to ensure that your home is cleaned efficiently and effectively. Their high standards mean there is no corner that is looked over. They treat your space like it's their own. Whether you need a one-time deep clean, recurring services, or even help with moving in or out, they got you covered. But wait, there's more. Want to learn how to clean like a pro? Follow them on Instagram at Care Cleaning, where they share their top cleaning tricks and tips. From the best products for every surface to hacks that save you time, they are here to help elevate your cleaning game. Plus, they offer their very own line of cleaning supplies, so you can keep your home sparkling clean just like they do. For more information about their services, you can email scheduling@carecleaning.com or go to their website at www.carecleaning.com. You can also follow them at Care Cleaning on Instagram. I've been using Care Cleaning for over 5 years, and I can honestly say they're the best cleaning service I've used. Love them so much, and I am so glad that they are now a sponsor of Weekly Trash. Thanks, Care Cleaning.
But yeah, she was born... I pushed for like 40 minutes.
Okay, well, that's actually really good.
Yeah. I mean, my labor, I was in and out of OB emergency services for like 3 days. I did I did a Foley bulb at home. I did a Foley
Because your water never broke. You
water never broke. No, because I was 3 weeks early.
Hey, I actually remember that because Coco's birthday is
December 23rd.
December 23rd.
Yeah, the worst birthday ever.
Yes.
It's fine. It's actually better than Christmas Eve. I thought she would come Christmas Eve, but now she can have her own day and we'll make it very birthday. And Coco was born on December 23rd. Gray is on a 23rd, and we just got married on a 23rd. So we're kind of like I was like,
you need to get 23 for
Jordan. Everyone, that is what I said. Gray is like, I'm going to go get a 23 tattoo. I'm like, everyone thinks it's LeBron or Michael Jordan, dude. Like, you can't do that. Like you
we
can't.
love basketball.
Like, we're just like, we love it. Like, we love sports in this
home. License plate 23.
Literally. So, but anyway, so yeah, labor was good. But yeah, postpartum really, really ruined me. No, not actually, but it was
the hardest part.
I mean, I got seriously depressed. Like really. I mean, I would go into Gray and say, I can't. Not only can I not do this, I actually can't be here on this planet.
This earth,
like I don't think that I can do it. And I also did not ask for enough help. I should have. I actually forced people to not help me.
Yeah, because like, I got this. No, go
I'm
away.
like, in my mind, I was like, I have to figure it out. I have to do it. I have to learn how to do the nights. And really, I should have said, hey, you're taking the next 12 hours. Go ahead. Yeah. And like Gray would say, like, let me do the night. Let me take her. I will take her for 3 days while you just sleep and recover. And I would say, no, I have to do this. I have to figure it out. I have to like, don't touch me. Don't do, whatever. And, yeah, I got real depressed, real down in the dumps.
I also probably think it might have been because your pregnancy was so good. No. You probably expected it to be blissful.
Well, yeah. And I was like, I had been around babies my whole life. Yeah. No, nothing can prepare you. No, and nobody can tell you. And I'm convinced we have like a biological part of our brain that doesn't listen when people say how hard it is, because otherwise we wouldn't do it. Right. And it's seriously, now she's 10 months old. I was just telling you. She's the most delicious, most exciting part of my day. She's the best thing. She's hard. I mean, she's full time.
Does she sleep through the night now?
No, she takes one bottle in the middle of the night.
Okay, not bad.
It's not bad. I could probably sleep train it out of her, but it's easier to just give her a bottle and soothe her to sleep than it is to stay up for hours and sleep train. I'm not anti-sleep training.
Like, why do we do that to ourselves though? Like, we know that we could fix it, but it's like,
I know. And I sleep trained her really early on, and that helped. She was sleeping through the night at like 12 weeks. She was giving me really good stretches, and that really helped. But yeah, it was hard. Postpartum's hard. And I will be so much more prepared the next time around. But yeah, to answer your question, I do want at least one more, probably sooner rather than later.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like
close age gap.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of embracing like my motherhood years. Like, I know that like, this isn't the time to like go to Europe and like, be out with my friends every night. Like, I kind of am accepting like the grind of motherhood. Yeah. And that's made it a lot easier to just be kind of in full acceptance of like, oh, nope, we're not, we're not going on a cruise anytime soon, but our time will come to do that. But right now is our time to like make memories,
be parents.
Yeah. Be parents and be here and cook and clean and do all of those things. And one day I'll look back and miss it, but
that's what they say.
That's what they say. You're going to miss this. You're going to want this back. You're going to wish these days hadn't gone by so fast. These are some good times. So take a good look around. You may not know it now.
These are the good.
Gonna miss
this. Oh, fuck. We had it going and then I ruined it.
We had it going. I have chills.
Oh, gosh. Encore? Anybody? Standing ovation.
I just lost
you. Beautiful motherhood moment.
I just lost you half your audience.
Oh, no. They love singing. What are you talking about? I was Alta Idol at my school. I won Alta Idol. It's a music competition.
What the hell is Alta Idol?
It's like American Idol.
I'm surprised you didn't marry a hawk. Hawks fly together.
I know they really do. I married a peaker, a lone peaker.
Oh, yeah. So I'm a knight.
Yeah, no, I know.
I went to high school with your husband.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I should have married a hawk.
Do you know we also went to high school with a kid who's in the NFL?
Who?
Garrett Bowles.
That's a bad last name.
All right.
Bowles.
All right. Van Dyke.
Van Dyke. We were just saying ChatGPT.
Yeah, you should ask Caleb about him. He's like, he plays for the Broncos and he makes like $30 million a year. I'm so happy for him. Every time he comes on, I'm like, that's my friend. No, he has no idea who I am. But
that's how I feel about what's his face? I don't even know his last name. I'm not even gonna act like I do. Fred Warner.
I don't know who that is.
He plays for somebody. That's how much I know.
Did he go to your high school?
No, he went to BYU. I literally hung out with him one time. I was in the same room as him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my boy, Fred Warner.
Oh, me and Freddie?
Yeah, we literally.
Oh, Freddie Dubs?
We went to a party. we sat on the same couch. Like that's my guy. I love him.
So
love
funny.
Him. So cloudy of me.
Yeah, seriously. So where were we gonna go?
Motherhood.
Oh, motherhood. Yeah,
You love it.
postpartum.
Did you go on any medications for postpartum?
Yeah, I was on Zoloft for a little bit.
But you're off now?
I'm off. Yeah. I went and got my hormones tested. I also, so like I know there's questions on there about my weight loss. I lost my baby weight fast because I got really, really depressed early on. I fully didn't eat for like probably 3 weeks. And
did you lose your milk supply doing that? Did you breastfeed at all?
I'm still lactating.
You're joking.
Still lactating. I could milk right now.
You should just squeeze.
I'm not kidding.
Shoots out.
I nursed for 9 days. Wanted to, and I'm not saying this as like a joke. I did want to kill myself when my milk let down. I got DMER, which is like, it's dysphoric milk ejection reflex. So it really is. I mean, it was major.
It's debilitating.
It was, and she wasn't latching. She wasn't getting enough. She wasn't gaining weight. A million different things. Did lactation consultants, did 3 of them, did pediatrician, did everything. It was like the worst week of my life. And then finally I was like, who am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for?
Yeah. What's the point?
Pop that bottle in. She had never been happier. She was so happy to get the bottle. And
So did it happen? Like, were you pumping or just giving her formula?
I was trying both. I mean,
I was still lactating. Are you pumping right now?
No.
You
no,
just
I
don't
never.
dry up.
No, I haven't dried up.
What the actual hell?
Yeah, I haven't dried up. I'm on month 10 of no.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. It's weird.
That's bizarre.
Don't tell me I have a tumor. Okay. 3 girls in my DMs are like, you have a tumor pressing on your whatever milk glands.
No, this is why people don't share things on the internet.
Yeah.
Because then you get all these people.
I have a doctor. I have everything
I went to the doctor.
It's just happens.
That's insane.
I'll show you when we're off camera.
No, yeah, give me a little. I want a little nibble.
No, it's not crazy.
Good juice.
Like if I get a spray tan, I have to make sure I have a
wow,
like pads on.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. When she was like 4 months old, I tried to pop her on. She hates it. She hates the boob.
You're like, okay, good.
But you know what? She's fat as hell and she's delicious. And she's 23 pounds. She's in 18-month clothing.
Oh, I want to eat her.
Yeah, she's delicious. She's the best thing. Her personality is everything. She's never done anything wrong.
She's perfect.
No, she's perfect.
She's saying her ABCs.
She talks. She sings. Yeah.
She cleans. She vacuums.
Yeah. Oh, yours doesn't?
Like, whoa, weird.
Embarrassing.
10 months old and doesn't know how to like mop.
No, like they need to start pulling their own weight.
Come on.
No, she is her own nanny.
She does everything. She's actually home right now.
She's home. Yeah, I just leave her.
Just put on the monitor.
I just leave her. But I got my hormones tested pretty soon after postpartum. I got on a testosterone cream. I got on iodine for my thyroid, and I got on a really big dose of vitamin D. I guess I've never seen the sun in my life ever. Yeah. My vitamin D was in hell.
Apparently that's a lot of people.
Yeah. And it's a huge factor. And I always tell women before you start like a weight loss journey and like after postpartum, I mean, hormones rule everything. I'm going to have the girl on who does my hormones. Her name's Brooke. And I send everybody to her. I mean, she's amazing. And, I mean, they run everything. They run your whole life, like inside out. Like I know people think it's emotions up there. It's hormones. Yeah. It's like you have like every single thing, and women, neglect their testosterone because they don't want to. Testosterone was everything,
Yeah. What does testosterone even do? I know you're not a doctor, but
no. But let me get my short white coat out and just say. I mean, it helped me with my weight loss. It helped me with my sex drive.
Is testosterone what helps you? Like makes you grow facial hair?
Well, yeah, like an excess of it, but also an excess of progesterone. Like there's a lot of different things. Like women with PCOS deal with a whole plethora of different hormonal things. And, but I think women are like, oh, testosterone, that's boy stuff. And it's no, it's a hormone. You need it. You need people do like the pellets in their butt cheek, whatever. I did a cream on my inner thigh. She was like, don't put it anywhere that like it could rub off on your baby. I was like,
yeah, what would happen there?
I know. She's like, don't put it on your arm or anything. So like I'd put it on my thigh.
Inner thigh seems safe.
Yeah, like 3 pairs of pants on over it and just let it soak in.
A hazard like tape.
But no, that was really instrumental in like my mental health. And then when Coco was 8 weeks was when I started my meal plan with Emily, and I got on like a really strict meal plan. I was really depressed and I wasn't eating on a schedule, and the meal plan really helped me. It also helped me. I feel like getting on the meal plan I really love food. Like I'm really passionate about cooking and baking and like I love food. And I kind of lost that part in postpartum and in the end of my pregnancy. And I felt like it kind of reconnected me to like cooking, which is dumb because it's like you're cooking chicken and rice and whatever.
Yeah.
But now that I'm a lot more lax with it. Like I still really prioritize protein but like I love to bake. I love to eat. I love to go out to dinner. Like I will always, but it just rewired how I view food and how I view my body. And I'm really proud of it. Like I really, but no, I told Gray the other day, I'm like, if like I had another baby, if in the future, like I think that these tools are awesome and why not use them and why feel shame about them? But yeah, I'm proud of everybody who does health journeys in whatever way they do it. But yeah, it was the meal plan and it was weightlifting and it was hormones for me.
Yeah.
That was what did it.
Did you ever struggle with body image issues before? Like, did you ever look at yourself and like hate that you looked a certain way?
I think my baseline was hating my body. I didn't know that people felt any differently. Yeah. Like I thought like I had never experienced a high and low of like, oh, I love my body. I hate my body. I was always kind of here.
Just negative.
Negative. Like I just never wanted to be in pictures. I never wanted to, go shopping with people. I never wanted to go in dressing rooms. that was always what I knew. It didn't strike me as sad.
Even as like a child.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was like, I'm almost 6 foot. Like I was always like, I don't want to say like bigger because I was, whatever. And the other thing is that I started like when I was postpartum, I was like a size 14. I'm like a size 10 now. Like I'm not, it's not anything.
You're not a petite person.
No. And it's not anything crazy. And it's like, it took me 7 months to lose like 25 pounds, which is like, I don't know, it's like a pound a week.
That's good math.
Or something.
Wow.
I mean, it's because I was weighing myself and I was checking in on it, but it's like, now that I've kind of done that, I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of that. I'm so happy. I feel so confident. I'm really, loving this journey. I've kind of like closed my weight loss chapter. And now I'm like, okay, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
Like, what's the next part? Like, it felt like such a fun challenge. And that's how, like, when I saw Lucy do it, I just saw somebody like have a goal, pursue it, push through, be consistent. And I was like, I want to know if I can do that. I want to see if I can do that. And when I did it, I was like, this is so amazing. And now I'm like, okay, now like what else can I do?
Yeah,
what else? Like,
are you gonna like run a marathon?
Oh,
or no,
no,
you don't run.
No, I
you
don't
lift.
run. I don't
so are
run.
you gonna be like a CrossFit?
Oh, no. But more just like any type of goal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what if next I did like, I don't know.
What's your goal, Maddie?
Well,
2025
when I started my roots, when I started the Bad Broadcast, my goal was to be famous enough that they asked me to judge a baking competition on Food Network.
Did that happen?
No.
It's going to though.
So that's my goal.
Which
have
show
Heather
would you like?
Have Heather McMahon on the podcast.
Oh, that's easy. That'll happen.
No, we've had this happen 10 times. Yeah.
But
where
like,
it's like
you're on the same network.
Well, I'll be like, hey, I'm in Atlanta, and she'll be like, yes, I can do it. I can do it. And then it's like, oh wait, no, sorry, I have this thing. And it's like, no, I'm gonna be in LA. And she's like, yeah, I'll be in LA. She's an A-lister.
Yeah, she's on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, I mean, she's been an A-lister in my heart.
No,
just anybody listening,
crazy.
I hate to be like, I listen to them first, but like Heather McMahon's like my girl. Like I pray she never finds my old personal Instagram because the DMs are really embarrassing. Like they're really, really, really embarrassing of me being like, please hang out with me. I'm in Atlanta. But anyway, and then judge a baking competition on Food Network. That's my life. That's my life goal.
Okay. Well, those two I see, especially the Heather one. Like that's
not the Food Network one.
No, well, the Food Network is going to come like within the next 7 months. But
really, is that what we're envisioning?
I think in 7 months you will get reached out to do it. I don't think it'll air.
Who out here works for
2026.
Food Network? I did get asked to judge like the pie contest of like Steel Days or something.
Okay, well,
like, I was out of town. I honestly would have done it, but I was out of town. Like I will do any baking competition.
Okay.
That's my dream. That's my number one dream.
Well, we manifested it. It's coming. It's gonna
out
happen.
there. Somebody listening.
It's gonna happen. In 7 months you're gonna get reached out to.
Yeah.
The Heather one will happen sooner than that though.
Okay.
Like,
that's
absolutely.
what she like. I think on her mind is like Alex Cooper, Madi Murphy.
Yeah, like you guys, Call Her Daddy and Bad Broadcast are very similar.
No, they're right there. It's like when Spotify was deciding,
they had to do Eeny Meeny Miny Mo.
No, it was tough.
It was really hard for them.
Tough call. I mean, how do you choose?
Like it's hundreds of millions of dollars that you have to put towards someone, and they just really,
and Alex needed that. I didn't need it.
She really did.
Yeah,
she
like
really
I
did.
was in a place that I did not need 100
They
million.
actually offered it to you first, and you said, "You know what? I'm actually going through a lot right now. I just need to decline. I want to focus on.
I need
my
less
hot
money.
husband.
I need less money. Actually.
I need to humble myself.
Yeah,
a lot. A lot.
But yeah, that's kind of that. I feel
Those
like
are great goals.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want. I mean, but I really do love what I do. I mean, I'm loving like. I'm loving the internet lately. And in 6 months, I'll probably say else, what's the word I'm looking for? Otherwise. Because, it's a journey being on the internet and being vulnerable and being perceived.
You have highs and lows. I always feel like my lows, though, are always contributed with my luteal phase or my period.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's why I felt like shit.
Well, and also for me, it's like when I feel like in my life, and I hate to say this and sound like, but like, this is my dream life.
Yeah.
Like being a mother, being in this marriage, like my home, my day to day. Like when you go through something really traumatic, like the last 2 years of my marriage were incredibly traumatic. Little by little, they were extremely traumatic. And then my divorce as a whole, really, it's sad because it does kind of like, it takes a part of you,
Absolutely.
And like, I've talked to my other divorced friends and it's like, you kind of have this innocence about you before you go through your divorce. And it kind of strips away, especially how everything ended and it blowing up in, this, again, not the whole internet. Not enough people care about me, but having it feels
like everyone.
Well, it felt so violating.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it felt so scary and violating. And like, I was out of control anyway. So like when you go through something traumatic, like the really, really basic things about life bring me immense joy because there were years of my life that I never thought I would hold my own baby. I never thought I would go to bed without anxiety, that I would wake up and, kiss my husband goodbye and have a good day. Those little things like, and like, I hate to stand on a soapbox about it and be like, it's the little things that matter. But seriously, like those little things bring me so much joy.
They gave you your dream life.
They gave me my dream life. Like, I don't want anything more. Like this, if my life stayed as is right now forever, I would be the happiest person on the planet. Like waking, like, and spirituality, it's a whole other thing. I was going to ask you about girls camp. Damn. How are we too deep in this?
Honestly, Maddie, with you, we could talk forever. People always ask me, like, who's your favorite guest you've had? And I'm like, honestly, Madi Murphy, because she gets it. Like we could just like jabber, talk all day.
But with spirituality, obviously, like I think on our outline, you asked me how it's been having an audience with like all of these life changes. Saying I left the church was the hardest one, I think. Because,
really?
Yeah, it's hard to tell a primarily Mormon audience that you no longer believe in it.
Did you see a drift of like diehard fans?
No, I had an influx of people that were upset. I got 1-star reviews. I got DMs about, hey, stop talking about this, whatever. But in my numbers and in the podcast, it was fine. I think like there's always give and take, it's like you lose some people, then you gain a few more and whatever. Yeah. But telling people I left the church was really hard. But how that ties into my life now is that I have had to kind of search out spirituality in other not even search it out because I don't think it's something that like everybody needs.
Yeah.
But I guess I have found spiritual experiences in the mundane. And there's this girl, No Nonsense Spirituality on Instagram and TikTok. And she talks about how motherhood, people talk about like ego deaths, men do mushrooms and they come out of the forest and they're like, my ego just died. And I'm like, I'm like, change a poopy diaper in the middle of the night. And that's what she talks about. She talks about how going to lunch with friends is spiritual. Changing a poopy diaper is spiritual. Taking care of another life is a spiritual gift. It's a call, like all of those things. And so I find like intense gratitude and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like fulfillment from things like going to dinner with my friends. And because my life was so devoid of that for so many years, like real connection and real, like even just sitting here, like I feel like looking back to where I was in January and where I am now, like this conversation like feels so much more fun and fulfilling only because of where I am at. Yeah. And because these things are like my lifeblood now, connecting with women, talking to my husband, laying in bed and talking about Coco, talking to my mom about how she parented and how I'm parenting and relying on my village. Like that's God, dude. Like that's God.
It's God.
Yeah.
No,
like that's
your
my
spirituality.
Yeah. That's what I rely on now. And like, that's, yeah. Sorry to get spiritual with it, but
no, I love it. Because
I'm Mormon?
I'm a very spiritual person, and that's what I talked about on Girls Camp. Yeah. And I was telling you how I'm nervous to see how people react to it. It's interesting because I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
But I did listen to just the first 5 minutes, and Haley was like, this isn't a normal episode because it's more of like a bridging the gap, which she doesn't usually do.
Yeah.
But my thought process on religion is so different because I grew up with a dad who wasn't Mormon and a mom that was.
Yeah.
So I've never really been like attached to religion. I've never been like, oh, my identity is Mormonism.
Yeah.
I've always been spiritual. Always, since a little girl. And so leaving or being like, I'm not Mormon anymore, never was scary to me because I never had a testimony of the gospel. It was a testimony of God.
Yeah.
And so it's an interesting episode. Everyone go listen to it. But I'm just like, actually, don't listen to it. I don't know what I said yet. Like, let me listen to it real quick.
I know, that's like this episode. I'm looking back. I'm like, oh geez, what did I say?
I know, you kind of, you just go. Once you get put on a mic and you're the guest.
Well, and the more you share, the times where I've been the most vulnerable and I've shared the most are the times I've gotten simultaneously the most criticism and the most like people messaging me being like, thank you for saying this. Like when I did my divorce episode and I'm like, I had years of my life where I thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
Where I thought I was like a really bad person, where I thought I was like I needed like serious help. And I didn't, and like, that was obviously really scary to say, but like,
for sure,
the amount of women that messaged me that said, I was in a relationship that made me feel this exact same way. And it took me years to put my finger on what it was. And it's like, sometimes people just need somebody to say it out loud,
Absolutely. Well, I met someone this past week at a little event and they were like, you don't know me, but I listen to everything you say. And I know it might be scary for you to walk into this room and have these people probably know your childhood trauma and things, but I just need to tell you, like, because you shared that, I didn't feel alone. And it's that nice connection that you can make with other people.
Totally. Well, that's the thing.
Intimidating.
Well, yeah. And podcasting, hold on, I have to sniffle one sec.
Sniffle, cough. I'll take my sip of water.
That's the thing with podcasting is that it's very intimate. I mean, you feel like you're on the phone with somebody. And because people will sometimes message me out of pocket things. I mean, I've been asked to babysit before. I've been asked for people to come babysit my kid. Like people are, and I'm always like, why? And then I was actually looking back weirdly at my messages with Heather McMahon. And then also this podcast that I listened to, it's called Girls Gotta Eat. Do you ever listen to them?
I've heard, yeah.
And Girls Gotta Eat had come into town to do a live show at Wise Guys. I was like 20 at the time or a little bit older, but I had messaged them like, hey, I'd love to go to dinner with you guys. If you're like, in my mind, I'm like, we're friends. Who else could they go to dinner with?
Relationship.
And now I'm on this side of it and people will be like, hey, I saw you were in, Bountiful. Do you want to get breakfast sometime? And I'm like, and on this side of it, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Cause I'm in your ears all day.
Yeah.
We're on the phone all day, basically. Like and I'm sharing these things about my life and, the things about me that, anyway. So it's kind of a weird job.
It's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
And you forget how much you did share. Like I walked into that room, like I did an episode. My first episode of season 3 was talking about my ketamine journey.
Yeah.
And I relived childhood sexual trauma.
Oh, wow.
It was deep. It was heavy. It was personal. It was vulnerable. It was all the things that I went back and forth. Should I share it? Should I not share it?
Yeah.
And I was like, my talent is that I am so openly vulnerable. I don't even try.
You are.
I don't even try.
You are. And you're really good at getting people to open up. And I think that's why people love this podcast and why they want to come on this podcast. Because who's been your biggest get?
Oh, you.
Shut up. So annoying.
No, honestly, just recently Aspen Ovard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think she's about to be my most downloaded episode.
Really? That's awesome.
So, but I do feel like that's something I just love to do is be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And maybe that helps other people be vulnerable. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm going to share it. I'm going to do it.
Well, and you I'm going to leave this room and black out what I said.
Absolutely.
Like I'm not even going to remember. And then it'll pop up somewhere and I'll be
I have like
oh,
a drug in the air vents.
Yeah, literally. Narcotics like in the water.
It just making everybody tell the truth.
It's weird. I mean, but it's easier to do for some reason on somebody else's platform. Because it's like, the other thing is that like, sometimes I don't want to sit down and be like, hey, so here's all the things my ex-husband did to me. It's like, but when somebody's asking you, it's like, I feel like, especially now it's so far in the past. Yeah. Like for me, my life has moved on so profoundly in like every possible way that like talking about that stuff, I'm like, if one person out there can hear like, oh, that was really horrible. I mean, the amount of times I said to my mom, my life's ruined, by the way, like not in a funny way, like my life's over. Nothing will be okay ever again. And now here where I can say like, no, I've figured out how to find happiness in these aspects of my life, despite these like really, and there's years of things that I'll never share that I went through. And like if one person hears that and is like, oh, maybe I could do it. Not that I'm some figure, but just like,
no, you are.
Just when somebody else says it, you're like, wait, maybe I can. Because I hear people say, even Aspen, I hear Aspen talk about her divorce and I'm like, this is helping. This is helping. You'll get criticized for it, but the amount of people that you are helping, whether it be silently or in your DMs is worth it.
Absolutely.
But it's scary.
It is scary.
It is scary. But yeah, you have a knack. People kind of crave coming on here and sharing
And I love it. I couldn't love it more because personal connection is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like I love making friends. I'm not surface level. I don't really know how to do that either. Like I want to ask you the serious deep stuff. Yeah. So
I know.
Thanks for sharing all the things that you were like, I know. Should I share this? Yeah. Actually, we're recording.
Right
Let's
now.
Go.
No. And it feels good too. I mean, I've never talked about that stuff. And again, it's not something that affects me day to day anymore. So every now and then, like I kind of feel like it happened to someone else.
Yeah. Like who was she?
Yeah. Who was she? Like married Mormon Maddie and divorcing Matt, like all of that. Like, I'm like, I don't know her. I love her. I love her so much. I'm so proud of her. I couldn't be this Maddie, but like, this is Maddie. Like, this is like, I feel like I have stepped it. Like I turned 30. I met my daughter. I got married and I like entered life and I'm like awake. And like with all those things that people talk about when they're like, my spiritual journey and I did, I'm like, my ayahuasca was like turning 30 and having a baby. Like that was when I woke up.
I love that you said when you met your daughter.
Yeah.
I love that term because it's like, you met her.
Yeah, I met her. We got to know each other a little bit. At first I was like, bitch, what? Like,
stop sucking my nips.
I was like, wait, I'm bleeding everywhere. And like, what's going on? And then we got to know each other and we're getting pretty serious. No, we're vibing.
It's funny. I have the Roman numerals of the day I became a mom, aka my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
But I never say it's my daughter's birthday. I'm like, it's the day I became a mom.
No,
like,
it is.
It's my day too.
It is. And it's like the day.
It was the best day of my life.
Yeah. Well, it's the day your life becomes about something bigger. And I always tell people you don't have to have kids to have a fulfilling life. Your life can be about something bigger. Your life can be about yourself. Your life can be very fulfilling, whatever you choose to do. But my life taking me to my daughter and my world exploding once she, in every possible way, that was my day.
I fully agree. I always said like the day my daughter left my vagina was the day I became Josie Van Dyke. Yeah. Like the real me.
Totally.
And it's not for everybody.
No.
But
it shouldn't have to be. And women are tough and badass and cool and all the cliches, all the Pinterest quotes about women. They're true. Sorry. All the ones that, a woman is a dangerous weapon. Yeah, women are that cool.
God is a woman.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande said it first.
Yeah, like literally. Like the universe is a woman. Everything should be a matriarchy. Like I fully and not just mothers. Mothers are an aspect of it, but women should be in charge.
We're actually iconic, amazing, incredible, beautiful, stunning, smart, and amazing.
And never been done before. So yeah.
It's crazy. Before I let you leave though, you have to do Trash Topican.
I know. I love this.
You got to pick it.
I've been staring at it.
Who knows what you're going to get? I just have Carly write some new ones. I don't know if there's anything spicy in there, so we'll see.
I want to get a spicy one. Do people do this? Like they look and then they...
No, they haven't. Everyone always just reads it and they take... Was it stupid?
No, it's not stupid. I want to answer all of them.
Every single one.
Jeez, I love to chat.
What is it?
I could answer these rapid fire.
Okay, let's do every single one in there rapid fire.
Okay. If your life were a movie, what scene would you watch again and again? Oh my gosh. My wedding day.
I love
my wedding day. I would watch that every single day.
The second one.
No, the first one.
The first I love it.
Top 3 favorite places to shop. Savers, Thrifty Queen.
Oh, are you a thrifter now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I love Abercrombie and I love Old Navy.
Love.
What is your favorite childhood memory? I grew up going to Disney World and...
Are you a Disney adult?
Yeah.
I love that for you.
I grew up going to Disney World and I have a lot of very fond memories. I also have a very specific trip to Hawaii that my family took and I had...
How old were you?
9.
Oh, so yeah, that's very vivid. 9 years old, remember that.
Yeah, and it was amazing. What is your all-time favorite movie? Miss Congeniality or Devil Wears Prada or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is probably my all-favorite.
Oh yeah, your
all-time favorite. If you had to be stranded on an island with one person, who would it be and why? If it's not my daughter, then probably Gray.
Would you want to be stranded on an island with your daughter though?
Hell yeah.
That would give me anxiety.
Nope, I'd love it. I'd keep her safe and it would keep me going. Okay, top 3 favorite celebrities. Florence Pugh.
Okay. Heather
and my favorite celebrities. I love Jessica Chastain. Thinking of like actresses now.
Okay, yeah. I feel like celebrities right now, I'm kind of like, ew, you're annoying.
I wish. What is your favorite holiday tradition? I love all holidays, and my mom made German pancakes every Christmas morning, and that's what's coming to mind.
German pancakes.
My toxic trait. I will start fights instead of just asking for intimacy, or not even like physical intimacy, just like emotional intimacy, because I think that you have to fight and then have a makeup, because that was always what I did. And so I'm coming out of it where I just say, hey, I haven't spent any time with you today. Could we put our phones down and just like connect for 15 minutes? But instead I'm like, grumpy. Because if I'm bitchy and I'm pissy a little bit, then it somehow triggers babe, what's in it? And so I'm coming down and I'm starting to say, hey, I just need a little bit of connection.
What's your what's the word? Love language?
Oh, I don't know, all of them.
You're like, fuck me, talk to me, tell me I'm beautiful. Go
send me a Venmo.
Go make me dinner and send me a Venmo.
No, I mean, I love quality time. I love acts of service. I love gifts.
You love all of them.
I love physical touch.
What do you think Gray's is?
Probably quality time. Oh, words. Probably words.
Words.
I don't know. I'd be chit-chatting a lot. So, I mean, he seems to like it. I mean,
crazy.
I'm like, we're on hour 5 of me yapping. Being like, anyway, so my first marriage. No, I am glad. This felt very therapeutic. It felt very, no, it was great.
Come take out trash anytime, Maddie.
Oh my gosh, don't tempt me.
Like, I mean, I asked you back season 2, you didn't respond, and that was a ego.
When? You did not.
I texted you.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm calling you out right now on air. Okay. I texted you season 2. I said, would love to have you back. No response. And then, of course.
No.
Yes.
In my DMs?
No, texts. Text messages. Because then right after you had announced you were pregnant, and I reached out and I was like, congrats. And you were like, thanks. I was
Where?
Pumped. Let me find it.
No.
I'm going to find it.
No, I literally.
No, I'm finding it.
Oh.
You found it? Yep. September 7th, 2023.
What was I doing September 7th?
Yep. And then February is when you reached out to me and you said, hey, was I mentioned on the recent episode of the pod? And I'm like, what is she talking about? And
you're like, this bitch.
Yeah, no, so I thought you like hated me because you didn't respond to me asking you to come on.
Oh,
and then
so
you reached out to me being
my gosh, that's
why
a new.
Why the F are you talking?
I'm not kidding. I literally, this is a new text to my eyes.
Well,
this is a text I've never seen. You tricked me. You put that
September
there.
7th. Yeah, I just like,
let it be known.
It's my witchcraft.
Wait, I was going to ask you something, or I was going to say something.
Ask it, say it, do it.
About this.
Love it, live it.
Why are we not hosting the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion?
Literally, why aren't they doing one is the real question.
Or are they not doing one?
No, they decided not to do it. They just went straight to filming season 2.
You should be on it.
Okay, I would literally be the villain. They would somehow make me the villain because I don't shut up. They would like soundbite things and it'd be like me be like, fuck you, bitch. And they're like from 5 different
They can just edit everything you say.
Yeah. No.
I think we're qualified.
I think we 1,000% need to if they're interested. I think you obviously are the better decision.
No. No. I don't know them very well. I think
that's what would make it better.
I only know Brett.
Okay, yeah.
Brett, I've known Brett my whole life.
Wait, really?
Yeah. My whole life. So my parents were mission presidents when I was a kid, and he was our.
Wait, is that when you were a kid? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, people take their kids.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, people take their kids. My dad was like 40.
I thought it was supposed to be like when you like are an empty nester.
Yeah, that would be the nice thing to do. But yeah.
So your mom and dad were mission presidents?
Yes.
While you were
4. Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
And Brett was our AP. And so he was basically, and we all hated it there. And so he was basically called to just hang out with us. Like he would just like basically not babysit us, but like play games with us.
Chaperone.
And like, chaperone and like be like the cool, like fun missionary and be like, see, isn't it cool here? And we've just, and we've been like family friends ever since.
Wait, where was the mission?
Boston.
That's a pretty mission.
Yeah.
How long did you live in Boston then?
3 years, bitch.
Wow.
Mission president time.
What? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
My lore is deep.
That is very
It's not.
deep.
I shared it all here.
Like, let's be real.
There's not very much left.
No,
I keep a lot private, but I'm very, I like.
Would you ever do reality TV?
No.
Here's the thing, everyone, because people always assume I would like do it because I talk on a podcast, but podcast, you are in control of how.
Well, yeah, and people are always like, "You're probably a great public speaker." I'm like, I talk alone in a room for 3 hours a week. What are you talking about?
Like a whole audience?
Yeah, like I hate public speaking.
Sweating from every pore.
I don't even know how you do those parties. Those scare me.
Okay, the party is literally just a 2-hour meet and greet, which I love actually. Like,
do you love
it?
It lifts you
could
up.
Just meet people all day long. I would. Yeah. It doesn't drain me at all. And I feel like a lot of people are like, this would be exhausting. It's like a wedding line when you just wait there.
You're a true extrovert.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you're a true extrovert.
Speaking, different. Like public speaking, different.
Like you want to ever do a live show?
I don't even know what I would even do in a live show.
It's this, but there's an audience.
But like.
We could do it.
Should we do it? I'm trying to combine our names. The bad trash or
the trashy podcast?
The trashy broadcast.
The trashy broadcast. Yeah, that's good. Trashy broadcast.
No, I feel like a live show.
The bad broad trash?
Oh, that's a good one too.
No, I think I like trashy broadcast.
They're both.
We could do it. We could cut this too if we really wanted to do it, but we could do it.
Because I feel like solo, it would be very intimidating, but to do it with someone else.
No, you can't do a live show solo.
Like that's the thing. And so I'm sitting there like, how would I even make that work? And I watch Alex Cooper and she's doing like dances and like strip teases. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I'm going to run an idea past you when we end this.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to sneak this in and ruin
I won't
the
sneak this in, but I love you. Thanks for coming.
I love you. Thank you. That really fun. Felt so easy. And
great.
like, I love to chit chat with you.
Come me up anytime. And everybody make sure to give me a 5-star review telling me you love me because I love you. And don't forget to take out the trash. Bye.